The FIA has judged F1's best engine and worked out who's eligible for how much upgrade assistance with surprising results. Jon Noble, we've been waiting for the outcome from the first instalment of F1's new 2026 Additional Development and Upgrade Opportunities System, or ADUO. It's the first evaluation point of the year, and while this is yet to be officially communicated, we understand that the verdict is in. The manufacturers have been told who has the best engines, and it isn't Mercedes.
No, bizarrely, Mercedes that has won every single race this season. You ask anyone in the Formula 1 paddock that's down in the harbour over there, who's got the best power unit in Formula 1, everyone will say Mercedes. But ADUO isn't based on the power unit, it's based on the ICE, the internal combustion engine, and the document that was sent to the manufacturers today, it's not public yet, it will be published on Monday, states that Red Bull Powertrains is the benchmark engine. Mercedes is second best, it's at least 2% behind, and Ferrari, Audi and Honda are further adrift. So Mercedes, with the best power unit in Formula 1, gets an engine upgrade this year.
And it turns out building an F1 engine for the first time is easy after all, because Red Bull's done it and straight away it's immediately better than anything. It's a bit more complicated than that. One of the reasons why ADUO is based around solely the V6, not any of the energy recovery systems, so the MG UK, the way that you charge the battery, use the battery, all of this stuff is because they wanted to keep it focused on one part of the engine. And we also have the element of we don't really know exactly what they used as their assessment criteria of the V6 because the FIA didn't want that system gamed. There's loads of people down there who think the system has been gamed anyway. Regardless of that, we are in a situation where Red Bull is ranked number one. Mercedes we at least know Mercedes is ranked behind because after all of this, Mercedes is going to be allowed to have an upgrade.
It's been described to me, one senior team source tonight said this is bizarre. They just don't understand how Formula 1 has got in this situation. There are also sources who suggest this makes a complete joke of the whole ADUO system, that the best power unit in Formula 1 with a system that was originally designed only as a catch-up mechanism if someone got it badly wrong, is now not only going to shake up the order at the front, it's going to give the best power unit manufacturer a chance to improve, get more spending and more benchmark hours. Because it's not just about that Mercedes gets one more upgrade. There's a sliding scale of benefits. If you're 2 to 4% off, as Mercedes are, they get $3 million of extra spending. They get 70 hours more of bench testing. There's a big sliding scale. We don't know how far off Honda are, for example. They could get up to this special $19 million in total, but Mercedes get more spending and more bench hours.
Exactly, and we're going to run through a little bit of what we do know about this because the essential thing that you need to know for this season is you can upgrade you get a chance to upgrade your engine for 2026, but you also get opportunities for 2027. It's kind of all packaged together. Now you can't save everything up. You can't say, okay, well, if I'm allowed one upgrade now, two next year, or two now, two next year. You can't just wait and do 4 upgrades in 2027. But it will be interesting to see how manufacturers play this because, as you said, it's about extra hours, isn't it? So will manufacturers be playing games in a way of basically choosing not to upgrade their engine here and now by basically stockpiling those hours into a big 2027 upgrade? Is that the sort of thing we might see?
I think so. You're not forced to bring a new homologated power unit into the system. It's your maximum allowance. So if Mercedes chooses not to bring a homologated unit, that's within its powers. It can keep the current power unit through to the end of the season. It's good enough to be likely to be winning races until the end of the year. But it's got more spending, it's got more bench hours, and all that knowledge and understanding it can get from that can be transferred into the 27 power unit, which, amid a big row that's going on in the paddock right now about changing the regulations, shifting the 50-50 power split to 60-40, how are we going to get there? Is it 50 kilowatts? Is it 20 kilowatts? Are we going to increase the fuel flow? How does that impact budget cap in terms of fuel tanks and everything for next year? It all fits into this big thing, and I'm anticipating this is all going to explode quite spectacularly in Spain on Thursday.
Today's video is brought to you by the Armour All Podium Series, a premium line of car cleaning, detailing and air freshening products made in collaboration between Armour All and Oracle Red Bull Racing. Engineered with precision and expertise featuring SiO2-based hybrid ceramic technology, the Armour All Podium Series products are formulated to meet the elite performance standards of Oracle Red Bull Racing, so you can achieve podium-worthy results on your vehicle at home. Fans of the race have had a chance to try the Armour All Podium Series products on their cars, and they said the results are incredible. From the tyre shine to the interior detailer and spray wax, this line has everything you need to clean and detail your vehicle like the Oracle Red Bull Racing Team. The Armour All Podium Series is available now online and in store. Find out where to buy and more information at armourallpodiumseries.com. The Armour All Podium Series, the world's most elite car care.
We're talking about this now. We're not supposed to know this now. It's not, as I say, not official yet, but we will. When it is official, we probably aren't. We're not expecting to get a huge amount of information more, or maybe even any information more than we have right now. So let's get into those bands you were talking about a little bit. So we need to be clear on this. We know that Red Bull's best. We know that Mercedes is effectively second best. It's kind of in a bracket of one in terms of what it's eligible for. We don't know what everybody else is getting. We don't know how far off everybody has been judged to be on the V6 side. But John, it's probably worth just running through what we know about the number of upgrades you get, and how that band works. So basically, when you're looking at what the other manufacturers, Audi, Ferrari, and of course Honda, we don't know where they fall in these bands, but it's worth explaining what these brackets are.
So very briefly, there are various bands: 2 to 4%, 4 to 6%, 6 to 8%, 8% above, and then a special 10% plus band that was created for Honda. So if you're 2 to 4% off, as Mercedes are, as I explained, it's $3 million, 70 hours. 4 to 6 is 4.65 million and 100 hours. 6 to 8 is $6.35 million, 150 hours. And if you're 8% off, it's $8 million and 190 hours. And then Honda, if they are the plus 10% off, they haven't confirmed. The documents sent to manufacturers, they didn't confirm it. It won't be announced tomorrow. They could get $11 million plus 230 hours plus another kind of $8 million forward loan in a complicated system that was allowed just for Honda this season.
So just because they get the same number of upgrades as Ferrari doesn't mean the amount of help that they're getting is the same as Ferrari, is probably the best way to explain that. How do we expect this to change things? Because, as you mentioned, this has all been designed as a catch-up system. It was never meant to be able to let a manufacturer leapfrog another manufacturer in the year, but we also didn't expect the best overall power unit manufacturer to be given a chance to do an upgrade. And this is something else that needs clarifying. Just because it's been judged on the ICE doesn't mean that you only have to spend that work on the ICE, right? That's where the biggest opportunities are, but it's going to be very interesting to see what this does for 26, but of course, crucially for 27 with other stuff in play.
Well, it's critical for that fight at the front of the grid. We know that both Ferrari and Red Bull anticipated being behind Mercedes and getting ADUO. I was up at Red Bull Powertrains a couple of weeks ago and said to Lauren Meckers about the rumours. We had rumours, we wrote a story saying that there could be a surprise benchmark power unit. I asked him, do you think Red Bull's the best? He said, no, what we see is certainly Mercedes a long way ahead of us. And most of us, he reckoned there were 3 tenths behind, and they think that mainly came from the ICE. That's not how the FI's judged it. What it means is Red Bull gets no upgrade potential. It's therefore stuck. Ferrari, that had been hoping, believing it was 4% off, could get 2 upgrades, 2 steps to get closer to Mercedes, now only gets 1. But worse for all of them is the benchmark power unit. Mercedes has nailed these regulations from the start. Maybe have something in its back pocket, can make another step, can move forward, can get all that spending and make an even bigger leap into next year. So this is critical to the fight at the front of Formula One.
And one final thing we should discuss is, we've referenced it a few times in different ways, the secrecy around this, the awkwardness about what should be disclosed, and the fact that we're not going to get a huge amount when it does become official. This is just classic F1, avoiding transparency for reasons that I don't really understand. So there's a huge amount of uncertainty. There's been loads of wrangling behind the scenes on what should and shouldn't be released. We know what some of the different parties, how they felt about, just be upfront about it, because, people like us are going to find out the information anyway. But I just find it really funny that we've spent months where these manufacturers are talking in the terms you mentioned there, saying how far off they are, how much help they need, all of this, and it comes to the punch and no one wants to say how far off their engine's been judged to have been.
It is one of the ironies of this season. In a year of new technical regulations, all new power units, every manufacturer has wanted to say, we're behind. We are behind, we can get development potential, we can push forward. And now we've come to the crunch point, the FI data's there. There's now been a big fight this weekend about what can be announced. Does it breach IP if the FI announces that a manufacturer is 6% behind or 10% behind? How does it look for their image? The information is going to get out there. This is all going to come out in the end. And I think it's a significant first step and it's going to cause a lot of politics in the paddock already. Just with a very basic summary from the FIA, Red Bull has the best powertrain, and Mercedes, that has dominated this World Championship, that looks all but certain to win both the Constructors and Drivers' Championship, has now been given a helping hand to make itself even better.